Right guys, so this is the charging test. In 7 minutes I went from 3 to 26% and I achieved the maximum power 177 kilowatts, which is 3 more than the Skoda states is the maximum power while charging the Elroq. So fantastic experience with charging the Skoda Elroq. It's a really great car to live with. Well, hello, welcome to the new video. And this week we have another sort of mid-size electric crossover. A few weeks ago it was the Kia EV3 and now it is the Skoda Elroq 85 selection. So yeah, this is basically, we can call it the Skoda Karoq, just electric and particularly more aerodynamic, which is the thing I love about this category of electric cars, that for a short SUV they are incredibly aerodynamic. Right? It's a 4.4 meter car, and it's quite difficult to make a very good aerodynamics on such a short car with a wheelbase of 2.76 meters. But anyway, let's have a closer look at the car. So this is the design, and well, more than design, the aerodynamics is more important than the design. So let me talk you through it. The frontal area is starting really rather low, which is great. We also have these massive air curtains. Skoda still uses massive air curtains, which clean the airflow around the tires and around the front bumper, which is really fantastic. So that's good. Then we also have this gap reducer here in the front wheel arch, which again improves the aerodynamics here in the front part, and also these massive 21-inch wheels, they are aerodynamically improved, again to have a very good aerodynamics. And as I'm here, let me tell you through the suspension. So we are running McPherson and Multilink, and in terms of the positive caster geometry, the Skoda Elroq is running quite a good positive caster geometry at the front axle. It's not quite extreme as on the Skoda Enyaq, but it's really quite reasonable. In terms of tires and wheels, so we have 21-inch wheels. I think too big. I would definitely go for the smaller wheels, both for the comfort and the dynamics and the range. But anyway, the tires, we have 235/45 R21 tires at the front, and the wider 255/40 R21 at the rear. So we have a different size of the tire, right? And in terms of brakes, we are running 358 millimeters brakes at the front, and I think we have drum brakes at the rear. Yeah, we have drum brakes at the rear. So now that we're again at the side of the car, let me continue with the aerodynamics. So the connection here between the bonnet and the windscreen, we have a very low angle to make it very sleek. Then also slightly curved windscreen, not as extremely curved as in the Kia EV3, but nicely curved. And then continue with the very nice and elegant looking bonnet, which is going down towards the rear of the car, prolonged and tilted down by this massive roof spoiler, as well as this massive side spoiler, which again reduces the rear area of the car. Also prolonged here by the body of the car and these sharp sort of, again, aerodynamic elements at the rear bumper. So the drag coefficient is only 0.26, just as in the Kia EV3, which is excellent for the SUV that this car is. Now that we are here in the rear of the car, let me also tell you about the geometry of the wheels, which is such that we are running more negative camber at the rear wheels, as well as toe in. And now, and also an interesting thing is that we have wider track at the front than at the rear, and it is by well, at the front 1587, at the rear 1562 millimeters. Then the rear of the car, I have to say, it's a really good looking car from the rear. I really did like it from the beginning. It's a nice, elegant looking car. I just really do like it. Let's have a look into the boot, which is of capacity 470 liters in standard capacity. And this is a really nice and practical boot, as always with Skoda, with massive storage areas, for the cable, as well as this net where you can keep the cable as well. Sort of these 2 stories of spaces. So I really do think it's an excellent boot. If you fold down the seat, it goes up to 1580 liters. Of course, electrically controlled. That's amazing, right? And so now let me show you how it is to be seated at the rear. And come on, this is a Skoda, so it is really good. So I have very good space for my knees, very good space for my feet as well, fantastic for the head as well. And in terms of comfort, I have really rather big door bins. I have this sunshade as well. I have 3 speakers, and here in the central panel I have the armrest with cup holders. I have heated seats. I have third zone of air conditioning, and also 2 USB-C connectors, and also this sort of practicality pack with additional cup holders down here in the floor and some storage area down there. Strong LED lights. It's just fantastic. And the sitting position, I have to say, is really nice and comfortable. So yeah, really good. And when you're stepping in and out of, maybe the only thing is that the doors could open to a wider degree, to make the access better for the car, right? Now that we're here again on the other side of the car, let me tell you more about the conception of the car. And I have to tell you, the Skoda Elroq is a really good car in terms of driver's conception. The driver is seated really quite far from the front wheels, which is a correct approach. And yeah, it's a really nice car in this aspect. And now let's have a closer look at the motor. Although this car has a rear electric motor, it's not in the front. It's a rear wheel drive car. But anyway, here is most of the inverter and stuff. So this car has the 82 kilowatt hours gross capacity battery, which is the net capacity of 77 kilowatt hours, with the rear electric motor with a power of 286 horsepower and 545 newton meters, which is really strong power. So this car is the sort of car you go for the power. You don't go really for the efficiency or something. Really, the power is key. It's fantastic. It does 0 to 100 kilometers in 6.6, maximum speed of 180 kilometers, and it does weigh 2,214 kilograms. So yeah, that's really about it. And this car additionally is equipped also with the DCC adaptive chassis progressive steering, which is fantastic and makes the car drive really nicely. And here in the engine bay, you can see a lot of these sway bar elements that make the car really stiff when you're cornering. So yeah, it's a really good car. Maybe one other thing I want to tell you is the charging. So it does AC charging of 11 kilowatts and DC up to 175 kilowatts according to the conditions, of course, which is fantastic. It's really fast charging also from my experience. Really powerful. So yeah, I guess that would be it to the walk around of the really aerodynamic Skoda Elroq. And now let me tell you more about the experience with this car by sitting inside the car, driving it further down the road, and telling you more about the experience with the new Skoda Elroq. Alright guys, I don't know if you can hear that, but welcome in the Skoda Elroq, and the heat pump is running in the background because it's now morning. And let me start up the car, which is another great thing. So you only start up the car, you sit inside the car and you press the brake, then the seat moves you closer and the car is turned on, which is crazy good. So yeah, it's only 14 degrees outside. It was quite a cold night, and it's time to finish the week with this car and tell you more about the experience with the car, right? So let me first take you through the setup. So I press this private mode, then you go into mode. I changed the mode into individual or sport because I like to have the chassis in the stiffest setting. I'm going to tell you why later. And then go to the assist, and here turn off the lane assist, speed warning, and drowsiness monitor, right? And now, so I've done, where is this? I've done around, let's wait for it, I've done 862 kilometers with this car so far, and I'm gonna tell you my experience with it. Another thing, the car always starts with the recuperation level at 2 out of 3. So I put it down to 0, and clean the window with the wipers. That worked really well during the week, even when there was a stormy weather. And we can set off, although we have misted windows. All right, so let me first come to that reason why I use the car in the stiffest setting, basically, of the dampers, because this car is equipped with the progressive steering and DCC adaptive damping. So basically the reason is that I was just not feeling comfortable having it in the comfort mode, or basically in the soft setting, and that is because of the natural short SUV conception, that you have a reasonably short wheelbase, but you're also sitting quite high, so then the forces when you're going along this bumpy road and paired with the rebound from the comfy soft dampers, they add up, and it's just quite annoying. So I really prefer this stiff chassis. I mean, it gives you a bigger sort of knock, but it's only for a short period of time, and basically you feel really good otherwise, right? So yeah, that would be about it to the comfort of the car. Otherwise, I have to say, really quite good. The behavior of the car in terms of comfort is such that it has this little bounce at the rear, because the car has very good weight distribution, 50-50 weight distribution, just like the Enyaq. These electric car platform that the cars are based on, and the way everything is in the car, the rear motor, battery in the middle, and then the inverter and stuff here in the front, and the way the driver is positioned in the car behind the middle of the wheelbase, and also where the dashboard ends. It just resolved correctly in terms of conception, which is of course very, very good. Then, well, this car is the 85 model, the 85 line. So we have 286 horsepower rear-wheel drive motor, 545 Newton meters, and it's a really, really sort of swift car. It weighs at 2,214 kilograms, which is quite heavy, and heavier than its competitor, Kia EV3. These are very different cars in sort of nature of them, but I want to say that it's still a very swift car. 0 to 100 kilometers in just 6.6 seconds. I mean, I have a cold motor, but I'm going to show you this. 60, 70, 80, 90. It's really blindingly quick when you press on it. So I was really happy with the dynamics of the car, and everybody will be happy with the dynamics of this car. And that is despite this massive weight that it's carrying, right? And so yeah, it's a really nice car to drive. Obviously, you can overtake very quickly anywhere in the city, on the B roads. It just works. And then you brake into the corner with quite a strong regen in the third crate of the regen. Very nice steering, and the car has just loads of grip, because we have wider tires, 255 at the rear than at the front, and the front we have 235, and that sort of again copes up with the narrower track weight at the rear. We have a slightly narrower track weight than at the rear than at the front, so giving it these wider tires make it all sort of balanced in this regard. Yeah, but let me come to the energy efficiency. So over these 864 kilometers, it is at 20.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So I think really okay, considering everything I've done. I've done the motorways at 100, 130, 140, also 140 kilometers in the soaking wet. It was raining like crazy, where yeah, it's not really that good for efficiency. And I've done also the making of the video, strong acceleration, sporty drive on the mountain pass. So 20.2, like always, I have to say it's very, very good. I mean, yeah, it was definitely good. And then the rest of the experience with the car is also good, because you have very strong charging. I charged at most at 177 kilowatts, which is 3 kilowatts power more than the manufacturer Skoda says. So I was happy with that. In 7 minutes I put in like from 3 to 26%. The other usual charges took me like 40%, but really only because I had the time. So I was sitting somewhere drinking coffee and stuff and talking, but otherwise you can do really fast charging times with this car. And it also shows you here in the status, well, where is it? Hang on, you need to go into the charging, and it just shows you here in the optimize what power of charging the car is able to take. From my experience, it can take even more than is showed here, but it's just a good thing that it shows you this. I quite liked it. So yeah, and then on the mountain pass, I have to say I was not surprised, but I was happy with how the car drove. So very good in terms of cornering, good balance, quite more towards the understeer. I can imagine understeer to onset a little bit later than it did, but generally okay. Fantastic steering, really. This progressive steering was brilliant. It is really stiff, good ratio, good feedback through the steering, just a lovely steering. And also this steering wheel, I quite like it. It's a good shape, it's not too thick, it's just a nice steering wheel. And then the only thing I really have to critique is the brakes. So this car with this weight has drum brakes, and that is really okay. And I'm the person who actually says, when somebody is critiquing it, that it's really okay for normal driving to have drum brake if it's a cheaper solution and we want to make EVs slightly cheaper. But then when I was pushing the car on the mountain path, it really was a problem. The brake pedal was really soft, and that is because not enough of the power, and because it's soft at any time, really, even during normal usage, it's really soft. And the other thing was that down the hill it just didn't have enough stopping power, and I'm the person that is also using the regen for braking when driving dynamically, and it didn't have enough power for stopping. So that was the big critique. And then the seats are sort of made for the European backs, maybe Eastern European backs, really quite a wide seats, but I could find that their support could be better than I had it during cornering. Anyway, here is the corner, so just a little thing. So it can be slightly oversteery, but then there is this thing. When it goes into the oversteer, there is always the ESC turned on. I didn't find any way how to turn the traction control or ESC off, or how to limit them. So the car always sort of saves it when you push it into the oversteer. So that is maybe spoiling a little bit the fun that you can have with the rear-wheel drive Elroq, but that's the way it is. Let me turn on the air conditioning because it is misting up in here. Good. So other thing about the interior, maybe let me tell you the interior. I really do love this Skoda interiors. I think it's much better than in the Volkswagen cars or Audi cars. I really do love them. So you have this leather here, nice small display ahead of you, but with all of the information, you can change them very quickly. So it's quite lovely. Then this interface, it worked a treat. No problems with this. Very fast, very swift. Also the cameras were fantastic. I don't know if I can turn them on now. No, but the cameras were really good quality. And then I also like the practicality of this interior and the way I feel in here, because it's really practical. It's quite spacious, I have to say. You don't feel squeezed in here or anything. So big door bins, 2 small cup holders here in the middle, big space here for the phone, also the space for the coins, and down there is a cave with 2 USB-C connectors and 2 wireless charging ports, pads for the phone, and a big armrest with also this sort of another thing, so to make it double space in there. Big glove box. Yeah, I really do like this interior. The seating position in the interior, well, it's like an electric car and an electric SUV, so it's quite high. Also, in comparison to the dashboard, I'm sitting above the dashboard, but actually it's okay, because then there is the bonnet and you just have a good visibility even in the lowest position. So yes, so yeah, that would be about it. I mean, it's I really have to say, it's a very pleasant, it's a really fantastic car, and I really enjoyed driving it. And just like with the Kia EV3, I have to tell you one thing, and that is about the aerodynamics. Imagine if the internal combustion SUVs that they sell, the Elroq, had the aerodynamics of 0.26, just like this car has, and just like the Kia EV3 had with the EV3, and I said about the Sportage. Because these cars, because of this aerodynamic efficiency, are so efficient for a big SUV and EV. So if the IC had this efficiency, aerodynamic efficiency on the motorway, they wouldn't eat so much fuel like they do now, like 7.5, 7.6 liters. They would only eat around 6.8 liters or 6.7 liters, and that's a massive difference on the motorway. So I really do love these cars. I wish even the petrol cars, the petrol SUVs, were with the aerodynamics like this. And well, I just have to tell you, it's a really, really great car. And if you're considering this car, definitely go for a test drive. It has plenty to offer, plenty of space, in terms of rear leg room for the passengers. It's a really, really good and practical car. And I'm really staggered actually by the aerodynamics of this car. The way they achieved it, just like with the Kia, both of these manufacturers achieved only 0.26 CD, which is absolutely insane with the mid-size SUVs that these are almost. So I'm really staggered by this figure, and I'm staggered by this car as a whole package. I really did like it. It's a really, really pleasant car, and it's just done properly. Yeah, it's done properly in all of the aspects basically. So yeah, that would be about it to the Skoda Elroq experience. And if you found this video useful, well, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos are coming on very soon, and I hope to see you in the very next video. In the meantime, take care of you, and goodbye.